following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin' Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
Oh, what a beautiful day for football here at the Star in Frisco. Let's play two. Let's play two outdoors this week. How about it?
How about him practicing outdoors
That's
today?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's practice outdoors twice in a row here.
If he comes up with a different color shirt, I would be impressed too.
After 12 years, that ain't changing.
I went out like blue shorts, and how about a white long sleeve shirt today instead of that blue shirt? You go for that today?
That might be a headline on our website if he changed his outfit and just went with something totally different since 2007.
Yeah.
Showed up
at the podium with a visor on.
Yeah,
something different.
Yeah. Change it up.
No, I don't know how calculated all of our decisions are.
Must be rough getting up every morning, Coach, and dressing yourself.
We'll get better at that.
I hope so.
Kent Garrison along as
welcome,
usual,
yeah,
obviously.
Welcome, Kent.
All right, he'll be taking your phone calls at 888-855-2297. Mickey Spagnola, I think, will be here. I think I heard him barking in the other room on his local radio show.
There's a fist fight going on right now between him and Sean Sharif
Oh,
at
is it
105.3.
really?
Oh, I guarantee it right now. Sean's on the warpath, so,
I heard you on there. I caught the tail end of you
Yeah.
on your radio spot this morning on the
trying
Fan.
to explain anticipation with a quarterback, trying to kind of go through, Bill, we went through it a little bit yesterday about this quarterback and, the things that he's having to work through.
On the heels of Aikman's comments on Tuesday.
But you talk about anticipation, and I just, it goes back to me, with quarterbacks and an understanding, the great ones in this league, the great ones that have played, the great ones that have talent, but they also have it between the ears. And again, this is not a slam at Dak. This is just saying that, these quarterbacks that have the ability to manipulate defenses tend to have a lot of success. You can be the best play caller in the world, Sean McVay, but you could also, your quarterback can help you a little bit. Look what when he's got a little experience now with golf and the weapons they have around him, good for him. They've kind of figured some things out there. There's a lot of teams like that. Look what Pat Mahomes has been able to do, a young guy. He's got a good play caller in Andy Reid. He's used to seeing a lot of different defenses. In college, people trying to stop him from throwing the ball. So sometimes you have that little bit of that it between your ears to kind of help you along this journey.
Yep. That's interesting. I hearken back to 2004, being at Cowboys training camp and watching the quarterbacks back then. Quincy Carter would have been in that bunch with Drew Henson.
Boy, he didn't have it. He didn't have the.
I remember being out there for 3 weeks and then coming back to South Lake and watching a high school practice that had Chase Daniel, who was a senior in high school, Greg McElroy, who was a junior, Riley Dodge, a sophomore, and thinking, I'm watching better quarterbacks here at this high school than what I watched for 3 weeks in training camp. And it gets back to what you're talking about. They had a natural ability between the ears or whatever, anticipate throws, that sort of thing.
Thanks, Bill. You're right. We were there. We had terrible quarterbacks, and
Bill said they couldn't beat a good junior high.
No, and it's true. We really failed in evaluating the quarterback position. And not only do you have to, Quincy Carter's a talented guy. Obviously, Parcells took him. Rob and Kent had an award-winning a documentary about that. And, you do have to get,
hopefully.
You do have to get, it helps to have quarterbacks that, you can do. Brett Favre was terrible at reading defenses. His first 4 or 5 years in the league, he didn't know what nickel defense was. He didn't know what cover 2 was. He didn't know a lot of things, but he learned. He came along and he got experience. And, unfortunately, this guy was thrown into the fire very early in his campaign. Won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Yeah. A lot because of his ability.
And as a rookie, completed 68% of his passes.
Yeah.
So that tells me, and they weren't all dink and dunk down the field. It tells me protection was better, for one.
Absolutely. Run the football, too.
Tells me the play action was better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we saw some play action cooking the other night against Houston. That's when they're at their best. I'm with Brian on this. Like, anticipation is key, and I'm not making excuses for Dak, but I think the other side of it too is a new group of receivers around him, and I'm not saying he doesn't trust them, but there has to be chemistry and trust gained there, and there are times where if they drop passes and they don't connect, he's not necessarily looking for that guy down the field the next time. We've seen guys open, and maybe he doesn't trust it. Right. And I'm putting words in his mouth right here, but you watch the tape and you're like, he could have gone here. Why didn't he go here?
Along those lines with the new set of receivers and so forth. Hello, Mickey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Thank you.
I heard a little bit from Bill Polian last night on Sirius NFL Radio, and he wasn't talking specifically about the Cowboys, but he was talking about, in general, in the NFL, there's so much turnover on teams.
Sure.
That he basically was saying it takes 3 games you get into the season, and not only turnover as far as personnel, but turnover as far as coaches too, and that can go position coaches as well.
Sure.
And of course, we got a new receivers coach this year here, and learning your personnel and what they are capable of doing. He says it basically takes 3 games in the NFL to sort that stuff out as far as your own team goes, and then once you get 4th, 5th, 6th game, whatever, then you have more direction in your offenses. For most teams, unless you're the Patriots, who've had the same quarterback for 2 decades
and the
now.
Saints,
Saints,
and the Packers.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, all the teams that seem to have success with their quarterbacks have had guys
longevity.
that have been longevity there. And that's why I've always been impressed with the guys like Drew Brees, these quarterbacks that have played in the salary cap era, because their teams do change so much. No disrespect to Roger Staubach and Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw, but I know Joe Montana could turn around and hand the ball to Roger Craig, or he could turn around and throw the ball over here to Jerry Rice or to John Taylor. Or wait a minute, Harris Barton I know is going to block for him there at right tackle. Oh, Jesse Sapullo is going to pull. Oh, Jesse Sapullo only played like 12 years for the 49. You know what I'm saying?
Go back and try to figure out the receivers Brady had in the Super Bowls he's played in besides Welker and Moss.
Yeah, there's something to this.
And those quarterbacks, they know they're running their offenses, okay?
Romo did a great job of that.
Was it Gil Brandt that was talking about it last? Roethlisberger. He was talking about Roethlisberger and how he's basically running that offense in Pittsburgh right now. And, he's his own offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And we had Gil Brandt on the Legends show last night. It was great, Mickey, and you can catch that. It's archived on DallasCowboys.com, I'm sure.
We hope.
Or will be very shortly, whatever. But it was great having Gil on the show last night.
He was pointing out before we even started the show, before you got there, and I didn't write down all the quarterbacks, but he was talking about how high the interception percentage was back in the day.
Oh, God.
Like, everybody thinks, these guys were great quarterbacks, and, they're throwing interceptions left and right back in the day.
Well, even for Aikman, the interception to touchdown ratio for Aikman wasn't that great. I mean, there's only a separation of like 20, I think.
Well, it wasn't that great for Staubach, and it wasn't, there was other guy, Joe Namath's touchdown to interception wasn't that great.
Tough position.
He won one game, and he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, basically.
That's a big game. That was a big game.
It was, but that's it.
You're going to minimize a guy's career like that?
Go look at his game. Go look at his numbers.
Ridiculous.
If he just said Bob Greasy, I would have said I'm with you, Mickey, but I don't know about Joe Namath.
Go look at his stats.
All right, so Mickey,
yes,
I heard some barking going on in there on your local radio show. What?
I wasn't barking.
Okay.
I was just trying
to
explain.
Louder than normal.
I was just trying to explain, the Alan Hearns thing. That who gets, you call your play, right? Mm-hmm. The defense calls their play, and if it's the wrong play, then there needs to be an adjustment at the line of scrimmage to what the coverage is. But it's not like they show their coverage and then you call the play. And so now we can pick one play out of 60 and say, well, look what happened there. Okay, fine, got me, right? Larry Lacewell used to tell me calling plays, calling defenses was like being on the crap table.
Yeah. It's true.
Sometimes I'm rolling the dice, and boy, I can't miss.
Sometimes you're crap.
And then sometimes I can't call a defense to match up what the offense is.
It's true.
And if you go back and look at the play, they were in cover two. And Hearns even said it was the only time they were in cover two the whole game.
Yeah.
But it happened to be on that play, and he used that as an example to try to say it's not always the wide receivers. And I know where he's coming from. They're getting a little touchy about all the criticism they're getting. And everybody was covered. All 5 guys in the route were covered.
That's true.
And the cover 2 had nothing to do with the tight end and the running back being covered too, by the way. So, and then I gave him the example of, when there was 10 seconds left in the game and they tried to run Beasley down the middle, he's going to hit Beasley at their 40-yard line if he doesn't get pressure from the right and he had to pull the ball back down.
Yeah.
Beasley was open.
Yeah.
He's going to catch the ball with 3 seconds to go, call timeout, and you're going to try to kick a 57, 58-yard field goal. But he had to pull the ball down, and then Beasley reversed, and when he reversed, he wasn't open, and he forced it in there.
Yeah.
So every play is not this, what everybody's trying to do is take all this stuff, put it in a box, and tie a bow on it. And Jason has said that over and over. You have to look inside each play why it didn't work. It's not just, okay, this is the reason. And I was trying to explain that to him. And then they were talking about accuracy. Tony Romo never completed more than 67% of his passes until 2014 in a season. Never.
Well, he had some bad practices early in his career.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember.
you know
I remember,
what?
And that was in the scouting department. I'm like going, oh my God, what do we do?
He made a fool
In fact,
out of
Romo
me.
would have been in those training camp practices
Oh my
that I was
God!
talking about.
There
too,
were
now to
times
think
when
about
he
it.
was throwing the ball, and I was in the same thing with Dak. I mean, you could say, Dak has not always been a great practice player, but yeah, Romo threw some passes. Hell, Brett Favre threw some passes that I went, what was that?
His first 2 years in training camp, I'm watching him, and I'm going, why is this guy even in training camp? He can't throw the ball straight. He can't throw it accurately.
Yeah.
And he would take risks like no other. He was wild ass. He was wild, and a lot of that was because he watched Brett Favre
But it
growing
was
up, to
but
be
it was
honest.
practice that he couldn't complete passes in. And so he kind of learned on kind of change your mechanics and how to throw the ball. All I know, and you pointed it out, in Dak's rookie year, he completed nearly 68% of his passes, and Romo never completed better than that percentage until 2014.
Okay, Joe Namath.
Yes.
Okay.
He had to look it up.
Because he knew you would.
His best season. Okay. All right. Keep in mind, and this is not to minimize Joe Namath's career. This is the era that he played in, too.
1966.
Okay. I'm looking at the 1 year he was first team All-Pro, 1968. Okay. He was 25 years old.
AFL.
They went 11-3. Maybe I should move up to 1970 then. But anyway, with 69 seasons, they won the Super Bowl.
Right.
All right. But in 68, he was first team All-Pro, 11-3 record, 49% completion percentage for 3,147 yards, and 15 touchdowns and 17 interceptions.
Thank you very much.
And he was first team All-Pro. Okay?
Yeah.
And that was before he became Joe Willie Namath. Guaranteeing
Broadway
the Super Bowl.
Joe, yeah.
Broadway Joe.
1968?
Yeah,
Who are some-
1968.
I'm trying to think of some of the other quarterbacks. Like Sonny Jurgensen wasn't very good,
Okay,
or Roman
and
Gabriel.
again, that
or,
was AFL. Okay.
Oh, AFL.
Yeah, that
okay.
was AFL.
Daryl LaMonica didn't have a better day, or Lynn Dawson wasn't
There you go.
going at it very well there. How about John Hadel? Was
Jets had the second-ranked offense in the league, and Oakland was first, which would have been LaMonica.
That'd been
I
Daryl
guess.
LaMonica, yeah.
And
It's getting to be an
passing offense, San Diego.
Was Rudy
Hadel?
I think it would be John Hadel, yeah.
Yeah.
Rudy Bukich playing for the Bears?
Oakland was second, LaMonica, I guess, and then the Jets were third.
Oh, so I've recognized Joe Namath's name so far.
See, that's
We got
my
one down.
point. There you go.
And then the Houston Oilers were fourth.
That might have been George Blanda.
Oh, good one. You ever heard of George Blanda? No,
Yes.
that would not be
As a
George
kicker.
Blanda.
Who was it?
Instead, making 7 starts that season was Pete Bethard.
Pete Bethard.
Don Troll made 4 starts, and Bob Davis made 3 starts.
Troll played at Baylor. I know that.
Yeah.
Who was the Bears quarterback at 68?
I have to get.
68 might have been Jack Kincannon.
Yeah, probably was.
How about Rudy Bukich?
He might have been him
Lord.
too.
I think they had moved on from Billy Wade by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the hell are these guys?
These guys
Starting quarterbacks in the National Football
These guys are the
League.
pillars of the National Football League, Rob.
That's
Don't
right.
you forget that.
That's right. And who was the Cowboys quarterback in 1968?
And Don Meredith.
Andy
Don
Don.
Meredith.
Yeah.
Meredith's last season.
What were his stats that year?
Well, I'll have to.
They lost to Green Bay, right, in the championship game, right?
No, they lost in 66 and 67.
Okay.
68, they got beat and didn't make it
like,
back.
There was an awful playoff game against Cleveland one of those years.
Yeah,
it was
55-3 or something like that.
And he got blamed for it. That's why he didn't come back in 69.
Yeah.
And then Morton took over.
Well, Staubach was there.
Yeah, but he
got
not
hurt.
till 69, right?
At 69, he ended up being the backup.
Yeah,
but he was. I believe.
I can't remember what I had.
He got
for
hurt
lunch,
the first game.
I remember Jack Kincannon.
Jack Kincannon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I remember Jack Kincannon.
How about Bobby Douglas?
Yeah. Oh,
Bobby Douglas, number 10.
Now you're moving almost into
the 70s now.
Right. Now listen to this. Talk about a quarterback that can run but couldn't throw.
Yeah.
That was Bobby Douglas. Bobby Douglas was a modern day. He was a modern day Cam Newton.
Was he?
Oh yeah.
I think he was left-handed too.
I think he may have been.
No. Bobby Douglas was right-handed.
What is he? Right-handed?
Yeah,
he just ran all.
No, wait
the
a minute,
time.
Mickey. You might be right. Okay, forget it. I'm sorry. I might be wrong about that. You might be right.
We'll see how fast Bill can.
Okay,
work
Don
his
Meredith.
tackles.
I'm Don Meredith right now. Okay,
Bob
Don
Avellini.
Meredith, 1968, his last season in the league. At the age 30, by the way, 11-2 record. He had a 55% completion percentage for 2,500 yards. Of course, now keep in mind, it was just 13 games, 2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions.
All right, let me ask you.
He was before his time.
Let me ask you this: are we playing in the era too where they tackled the receiver out there?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, are we playing Kansas City Chiefs and
yards per
Emmett
attempt?
Thomas and those guys out there tackling guys?
Yards per attempt, 8.1 for Meredith.
That's pretty impressive.
And see, I was thinking about that this morning. The Cowboys have always been known for having this dynamic offense.
Yeah.
I say always when they've been good.
Yeah.
They've all, going back to when Bob Hayes first got here
Sure.
in 1965 or whenever it was.
Sling it around.
That's right. It always was when they're good, they've got great offenses.
And great quarterbacks, too. The bar is set extremely high for whoever's running the huddle.
So Don Meredith, you don't want to go to the state fair with because he wouldn't win you a Cupid doll throwing the football.
That's rigged anyway, Mickey. I think.
55%.
Oh,
It's rigged.
55%.
A better chance with him than
Joe
Joe
Willie.
Namath.
That's right. That's what I left those guys with. I said I'd take Dak Prescott to the fair with me. He'd win me a Cupid doll.
Yeah.
There you go.
We could set that up maybe and do
We
like,
see
do
what
like
can
a
be a good-
social video post. That sounds great. Dana, are you listening? That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
let's
That'd be
do it.
awesome.
Right.
Get Spags out there.
All right, 888-855-2297, the number to call here on Talking Cowboys, and we continue in a moment.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. Surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean. Fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Nestle the boys in Tommy John, the softest, most supportive underwear out there. They're feature-packed and feel amazing. And if you disagree, they're backed by the best pair you'll ever wear or their free guarantee. Plus, shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
All right. Thank you very much, Rob Phillips.
Slight slip up at the end there, but we're good.
Nah, you're good at reading that stuff.
Thanks, man.
Use that word microbial. Microbial. Is that
there?
right?
It is. You got it. Second try.
Took
bro.
about 17 times.
I didn't give him that one.
No, I wouldn't. That was a big fault.
I'll read it next
time.
Then. I'll do it tomorrow.
Second
flawless.
Yeah.
Robert Gilchrist Douglas, a left-handed quarterback.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mickey was right.
Bobby Douglas.
How did we get down
married
this
to
rabbit
a-
hole?
and once again, married to a Playboy model, 1972, Miss July.
Accuracy.
Would you like
Fun
some
facts.
accuracy
Something to do with Bear
stats on
quarterbacks.
Bobby
Yes.
Douglas? Try 43% completion percentage.
He was terrible. He was Cam Newton. He
had
was
a-
running around. He was
16-36 record.
okay. Cam's better than that.
And 36 touchdowns and 64 interceptions.
They were probably still playing Wishbone at Kansas at that time with Don Fambro as the head coach.
I'll have to-
Everybody's just totally turning us off right now. See you guys. Derek is going, why did I put these guys together?
That was the heyday of Wishbone quarterbacks.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, he was not, because he came into the league in 69, and Texas didn't start the wishbone until 68, and OU perfected it.
I thought he was like 72.
OU perfected it.
It was. It was invented. It was invented by Emory Bellard.
That's right.
At the University of Texas.
Who was still trying to run it when he was at Mississippi State in the 80s.
Beat us twice. He beat us twice with it. Yeah,
there you
at
go.
LSU.
All right, accuracy from a quarterback. I thought Jason Garrett had his best press conference of the year yesterday, just because he told the story of him and
Troy Aikman, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL.
Him and 8-Ball at the Jay Novacek football camp in the 90s.
Do we happen to have that cut, by the way? Any chance?
I haven't.
We didn't ask for it, did we?
No, we didn't. But I can kind of retell the story.
I used it on my Next Star thing. I thought it was time for a little levity.
Yeah.
Everything's so tight.
What advice would you give Jimmy over there?
That was pretty funny.
Play wide receiver?
Play wide receiver. Yeah. That was kind of like Jason's way of giving a little dig at Troy, too, about,
calling out his quarterbacks.
Talking about accuracy.
Radio. I don't think Troy was, but I mean, he's paid to analyze, and that's what he's seeing on the field.
That's right.
That's fine.
Yep.
I think Dak has talked about that. He needs to improve in a lot of different areas. But yeah, it was good. Retell it. That was a good story.
Go ahead.
You did it yesterday. You've got a better grasp of it probably since you memorized it.
He said they had a kids camp and they
were Jay Novacek football camp in the 90s.
San Angelo, right?
And
or Denton,
Angelo
or
someone like okay.
Wherever.
Troy was there and he was there and little Jimmy just couldn't throw the ball straight and he asked Troy, what can we do?
What kind of advice would you give him?
I had a feeling that was going to be the answer. I just knowing Troy, and it's like, what can we do to help Jimmy throw the ball more accurately? And Troy basically said, hey, you either have it or you don't. And he goes, so my advice to him would be go play wide receiver.
Pretty good.
But you know what?
Little Jimmy.
I couldn't pitch in Little League. I just couldn't throw strikes and doesn't matter how much I worked at it, I didn't have the act. I could throw it from shortstop, second base to first base. Usually, my next door neighbor across the street, he was a left-handed first baseman, and he saved me repeatedly. But I could not throw strikes. And the first time I got to go pitch, and I think we were 10 years old.
Did you hurt somebody?
My best friend was at bat, and I hit him with the first pitch. And I said, okay, I'm not pitching anymore.
Was he still your best friend?
Yes,
after that?
he was. Yes.
So that's when you moved to football? You're a middle linebacker, right?
We didn't play any football growing up other than just messing around. We had no organized football, no organized hockey.
But with the accuracy and you talk about it's about trying to work on it though. It is on trying to all the things that we've talked about. I mean, for the last 5, 6, 7 weeks is been about protection. It's been about routes. It's been about, the way, the mechanics. This quarterback's different with his mechanics. He really is. He's more comfortable throwing the ball, moving his feet and his body and contorting himself than he is standing there and making a throw. And sometimes, we don't know what he sees in the pocket. We don't know if the flash of color brings his eyes over and it causes him these arm angle or his feet to move. There's so many things we could sit there and analyze about him. But there's Troy's right, and it's a God-given talent to be able to say, okay, I'm going to put the ball right here. I'm going to put the ball right here. And there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league that don't have that, but they still find ways.
Improve it.
You can improve it, but I think the biggest problem, and I think the thing that would help Dak the most, is if the knowledge that he can gain and the experience that he can gain on reading defenses and understanding what people, Tony Romo at the end of his career, he didn't throw really pretty tight spiral passes. He's not going to, there was a little shake to it, but he knew where to put it. He knew where to put the ball to Dez Bryant. He knew how to move Jason Witten over when the safety or the linebacker was sitting inside. Those are things that you kind of learn as you have experience. And then you hope that, the accuracy part of it develops.
There's more confidence there when you think that window's there.
Yeah.
And so then the accuracy is a byproduct of it.
I would take Dak, if you said, okay, I have got to make a first down throw rolling to my left and I have to make a throw to get a first down, I'll take him over a lot of quarterbacks in this league. Running to his left, getting his shoulders square, and then throwing the football with some pace. I'll take it.
Deepest pass they had was the one to Tavon deep, rolling to his left, chucking it up. Now, I don't know. Was that for Zeke? I mean, Tavon said it was for him, but it was kind of, they were both in the area.
They're both in the same spot.
Yeah. But yeah, he
He's
does
trying to
throw
make a
well
play.
on the move at times.
See, that's what I'm saying. If there's certain traits and strengths that quarterbacks have, and he's got some that are unique that other guys don't have. I don't. There's guys that. You watch Joe Flacco trying to run to his left, throw a football. That ball's going in the stands. It's not going to,
or in somebody's hands.
Yeah, Now we saw a quarterback that's got rare ability last week with Deshaun Watson. That's what a quarterback, a guy that's got arm talent. He's got mobility. He's got the ability to be, accurate when he needs to throw the ball.
I wonder if they're mad at their play caller.
They are. It's the head coach. If it is. It's Bill O'Brien.
All those possessions inside the 10.
See, that's where I'm saying if you're doing Talkin Talkin Texans, I reverted back to Bobby Douglas days.
Well, yeah.
If you do Talkin,
Dan Pastorini was quarterback.
Exactly, and he was a mobile guy that wasn't accurate at all.
Enough.
But anyway, that's what I'm saying. They won. It's like, well, coach. Well, obviously we've got to work on goal-to-goal situation. They were 60%. League average was 80%. Going into that game, they were at 60.
Their opportunities and yardage, they should have had 35 points.
It should have been your score, Bill. You picked
30 to 17.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what the score should have been. But these quarterbacks are all different. You have to find guys that you want to say, okay, get a guy that could fit what I'm trying to do. But you also have to work with him, and you also have a guy. Dak Prescott is not going to sit there and put his head in the sand and say, I can't do this. He's going to try. He's going to try and do whatever you ask him to do. But you got to help him along the way.
That's one of his best traits.
That's one of his absolute best traits is this guy does not quit. He believes he has a chance in every single play. So that can either help you or it could hurt you with, the accuracy part of it.
All right, George in Miami, you're on Talking Cowboys. Hello, George.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm Jerry Jones. I will give a new contract to Dak Prescott. At the end of the day, we had our good years and our bad years with quarterbacks.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking so much. I mean, dying to call you guys couldn't get through, so please forgive me.
No problem.
He's a good quarterback. He's great. My thing is, I think Jerry Jones should apologize to Dak Prescott for giving him his receivers. These receivers are terrible.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I hear you guys talking about Allen Hurd. Allen Hurd should be talking at all. You have Bryce Butler in the background while Allen Hurd's talking and he's smirking. Are you serious? My other question, and please forgive me, if the Dallas Cowboys have a bad year, do you think Jason Garrett will be gone? Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Well, you drop
Okay, thanks, George.
Just kind of slip that one in there at the end.
You guys are the best. Now fire the coach for me.
Well, see you later.
Yeah.
No one ever qualify what's a bad year, because for the Cowboys, and it doesn't matter what talent they have, a bad year is nothing better than 8-8. That's a bad year.
Yeah.
Anything less, I mean, is 9 and 7.
Okay, I guess what's the bad year? What's the bad year that gets a coach fired around here? 1-7 did in 2010.
And you look what happened with Tom Landry. You know, they made that switch, but that was a lot of years of success. And then you turn
3
around.
and 13 was his last year.
Yeah, you obviously felt like that you needed to make a change there. Now, those are the coaches. Dave Campo, we were god awful for
5-11, 3 straight years.
Deserved to be fired. We all did. You know, so I mean, yeah, I think there comes a point in time where you have to say, okay, this is not working. I think that Jerry Jones, and Mickey, Rob, correct me if I'm wrong. He probably felt like he didn't give Chan Gailey enough time. And then he
that
got
was before me. Is it? Yeah.
But he feel like he didn't give. So he's been very patient with Jason Garrett. He's been very patient because he told us when Jason Garrett was hired that there were going to be some things that they were going to have to learn. But we're 8 years now into the job, and we'll see. But I think that you have to look at. I don't think he's going to get fired during the season. But I think that you at the end of the year, everybody has to evaluate where you're at. If it's good enough, this division's a train wreck right now. And I think a lot of people are fearful that they're going to hang on and win 9 games and then, they're not going to make any changes. I just think that every year you have to evaluate your team, not only the players, the coaches, but the front office guys as well.
And where this
Chan
team...
Gailey, by the way, the quarterback wasn't a fan. And that's why that change was made.
Sure.
Because they went 10-6 and 8-8, and then they lost 2 consecutive playoff games to Arizona.
Of all people.
I thought we lost to Minnesota in 99.
No.
I went to the game.
I thought it was
That's
Arizona.
my first year with the team.
I thought it was Arizona.
My first year with the team was 99, and we were 8-8, and we went, and I'm almost positive I got beat in the Metrodome because I've never won a game there. I'm 0-12.
0-12. You're keeping count.
Yeah, I know. I'm so glad when that stadium went down, when they just destroyed it.
All right, 98 was Arizona.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, 20-7, and then 99 was Minnesota.
Okay,
Yeah, that's my first year. That's the only reason I remember it.
they
Mickey,
had
like I
beaten
said.
Arizona twice in the regular season, and then got beat in the playoff game and didn't really score any points.
That was the 10-6 season in 98.
And then because they won all their division games, I think that year.
Yeah.
99, they ran out of wide receivers.
And the reason why Wade got fired in the middle of the season in 2010 was
1-7.
1-7, but also the message, the players had tuned him out. It was obvious. Those last 2 games they lost.
They were awful.
David Garrard looked like Joe Montana. Put up 45 points, and then what?
Speaking
Rodgers
of
and the
Jacksonville,
Packers did.
Speaking of Joe Montana,
that was the last time Jacksonville was here.
Is that
as a
right?
matter of fact. Yep.
because we
not have a repeat of that.
35-17 on Halloween 2010.
I think Garrard had like a perfect quarterback rating in that game. Just about. I mean, it was bad.
It was bad.
And one thing about Jason Garrett's teams, you don't see him lay down. And I expect this team to continue to fight. And we'll find out if the results are there.
And how bad did Green Bay beat them?
45-7.
Yeah,
that was bad. From
and that was
from
supposed
kickoff.
to be defense.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And so here we are at 2-3.
Can I go back real
Sure.
quick? He mentioned the contract extension.
For Dak, yeah.
For Dak.
Mhm.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that something we're kind of sweeping under the rug?
Well-
Do you think people are lining up? They're lining up against more than they are for. Do you kind of feel that's the?
Well,
are they worried about paying $25 million a year for that guy?
Number one, he doesn't have to have an extension.
Yeah,
No,
see, that-
but I'm just trying to answer his question.
Yeah,
right,
I know.
and that's great.
Yeah.
But I am too.
It's premature right now on the coach. Okay, they're
Yeah.
2-3. It's also, I think, even though there's a lot of speculation, and there was in the offseason.
Like you're making Lawrence play for this contract, right?
Yeah.
Continue to make this guy play, right?
Right.
Okay.
And
he's got a year left.
Yeah.
right. So you've got him under control, and then you got him under control after that too, if you want.
Franchise tags and
Right.
stuff like that.
Yes,
So
you can carry out this evaluation for at least another year if you want to.
I mean, the only reason that you would lock him up long-term now would be if he's playing to that level, you know, to where you want to go ahead and do it. Both sides want to do it now because you are convinced that he's your franchise quarterback for the next decade or whatever.
That happened with Tony in 2007. Halfway through his second year as a starter, Jerry said, I've seen enough, and gave him $70 million.
He'd already been with the team, 4 years before that, right?
No, that's true. But he'd become a starter.
6 years, basically, right?
Yeah. Just that last year. Yeah, there's time to evaluate. Right?
And I haven't seen the Life of Romo, whatever it is, on NFL Network.
Life,
I have.
But, okay, so what was it on that contract when he was about to become a free agent in 2006 where he did a prove-it deal, right? Romo did.
It was
basically
like
05, whatever year it was.
I think it was.
He went into Parcells
I think it was
to Jerry and
05 because he was getting ready. Basically, they told him, we're not going to allow you to sit here and learn.
That's right.
And then you're going to leave in free agency. So they told the story about how they called him in. They were on I think it was a road game preseason, and they called him into this little room.
Yeah.
And Jerry described it as, or maybe Tony did.
They were knee to
knee, the three of them, right? And they basically said, here's your contract. We want you to sign this. If you don't sign it, we're not playing. You're not playing because we're not going to give you away to somebody if you play well. And so Tony was like, well, this is what I need, or this is what I want. And Jerry's point was, or Bill's point was, it took a lot of nerve to stand up to those two in that cluster. They were clustered in that
claustrophobic
room.
There it is.
And he goes, and if this guy's got the nerve to do that, then he probably can get in a huddle and run an offense. And then they said, okay, fine, we'll sign you to what you said. And then the rest was history.
I'm not kidding.
Bill.
Well, 888-855-2297. I'm looking at the clock going, we take a break and we move into something Jacksonville related coming up in just a moment because the Cowboys have their hands full on Sunday at AT&T Stadium.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for Tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup. And now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper soft coolers at OtterBox.com.
While a player can look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than specs and features as well. You got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. To experience one for yourself, visit your local Texas John Deere dealer or go to myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
What's today? Thursday?
It would be Thursday.
By Monday, I'm going to have that shower caddy because I fumbled around with all my Jack Black in the health club this morning trying to take a shower. So you need all those products that Jack Black gives you. Shower gel, facial scrub, the
beard lube.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then the after shower stuff you can put on your face. It's stuff, right? And
That's
you
the
gotta
official name, the after shower stuff.
Shannon, get that liner down here today, please.
Moisturizer.
Need it for tomorrow.
Moisturizer.
All right.
And then if you want to go one step further, they also have an aftershave gel you can put on too. And you put all that stuff on. You got so much to carry. So what you need to do is go to getjackblack.com, and you can get 4 of those for $10 free shipping if you use the code Cowboys.
4 of those for $10?
That's right.
That's amazing.
Have you been listening this whole time?
I didn't say it.
I'm just emphasizing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I thought he was questioning.
That's a broadcasting.
I thought you
tool
just listen to Mickey at all when he talks.
That's right, Bill. 4 for $10 and free shipping.
Wow.
Hey, did you know Rally Day is going to be at AT&T Stadium on Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, now you know if you didn't already. Tour the stadium, see Dallas Cowboys alumni and the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders even play on the field. Visit attstadium.com/rallydays for details and to get your tickets. And real quickly, Cabot, Texas, coming to AT&T Stadium May 10th through the 12th.
I got to say, there's a huge spotlight on him, right? I mean, it's like an interrogation room on your face, but your face it's got a glow to it. You look good, man.
Yeah. Starting to work.
Love that Jack Black.
All because of Jack Black.
Jack Black.
It's the best, man. I'm serious. Huh? Keep it rolling?
Keep it rolling.
2 liners?
Keep it rolling.
3-in-1 wash,
Yeah,
man.
why
I use
not?
it every day. Face, hair, and body.
There you go.
Gotta have it. Take it on the road with me.
I bet if I used it on my foot in training camp, I wouldn't have
that's
so,
right.
What
so
if the
many
Jacksonville
problems.
defense uses it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's move on. Brian's subtle shot. Shut up, Rob.
All right, and I've heard this week a lot of doom and gloom around here that the Cowboys are facing this Jacksonville team that went to the AFC Championship game, and how in the world can they ever do anything against this Jacksonville team? Well, I look outside on that practice field today, and I don't see a cloud in the sky.
As a matter of fact,
I think there is hope for this Cowboys team against Jacksonville on Sunday.
Because of who they have playing quarterback.
That's right.
That gives
Blake
you hope.
Bortles.
Starting right there.
I looked at that Kansas City game last week and saw 5 sacks and 4 interceptions thrown by that quarterback. And
they had 3 trips inside the 10 and couldn't score. Couldn't come away with points.
He threw a beautiful interception off his right guard. I mean, just banged
banged
it off his helmet.
It's a popular gif around Twitter
that's no Leonard Fournette. They're a team that's also kind of searching for wide receivers.
They lost their top wide receiver early, Marquise Lee.
Absolutely lost Lee. They're trying to get Deedee Westbrook going here. There's some quality there, and then Keelan Cole's not bad. He'll make a circus catch on you every once in a while. They really haven't gotten DJ Chark going as well as they probably thought. Everybody thought he would get going. We've all very familiar with Jeremy Parnell. He's been their starter at right tackle.
Who was awful last week, by the way.
He's a slow-footed guy. That's a matchup you have right there with when you're one of the best defensive players in the league with DeMarcus Lawrence against Jeremy Parnell. They lost Severian Jenkins, their
tight end.
I mean, he's gone to IR. I mean, they've got some things offensively that they're struggling with, and that one of the strengths of your team is your defense.
Yep.
They are down to their 3rd starting left tackle.
Yeah.
Cam Robinson was the starter. He's on IR.
Right.
They just put Josh Wells on IR. He's out. And Josh Walker, who has been in the league since 2014, bouncing around numerous practice squads, is going to make his first NFL start at left tackle.
And then Linder and Norwell are nicked up too.
Both didn't practice yesterday, and my understanding, Norwell's been walking around with a boot on his foot.
And he was their big free agent signing from Carolina.
And a running back, you're looking at Yeldon, TJ Yeldon.
Right.
You signed Jamal Charles, who now is going on 32 years old. Could still help him. But obviously they're in a bad way at running back right now, at least for this week. And
David Williams out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
They signed off their practice squad, and Jamal Charles says he's going to make big plays on Sunday.
Look, Bortles.
Jamal Charles is or David?
Jamal Charles says.
I thought you meant Jamal Charles says David Williams is going to make big plays.
They signed Bo Scarborough, too, to the practice squad.
Yeah,
Did
how
they?
about that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because they signed the guy off the practice squad, so they had a spot.
Yeah.
All he's done since the end of last season, he had a workout with Washington and a workout with the Saints, and didn't go to training camp with anybody.
Bill, you do bring up a good point. Like, we live in this bubble here where everything this week is doom and gloom with Dallas. And if you look outside on the talk about the Jags, it's, they gave Bortles a contract too early and he can't play. And he can play. I've seen him do it. We saw him in the championship game. He put Jacksonville in position to beat the Pats and go to the Super Bowl.
But he's really inconsistent.
He had a terrible game last week, and he's throwing too much. He's aside from 61 attempts or whatever it was last week.
Yeah.
He's passing 42 times per game through 5 games.
Yeah.
That's
for
not
a team that wants to run the football.
Yeah, it's really odd to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was there. They ran the ball against New York pretty well.
Yeah.
It's not like he's been out the entire season.
This
it's just
is going
odd.
to be his 4th game he misses.
Yeah.
He's missed 3.
This will be his 4th.
It'll be his 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the trick.
It's not balanced.
The trick you're going to have to figure out is, can your quarterback outduel their quarterback?
Yeah.
You know, who won't make a mistake? Who will maybe make a play or two, with his arm? Who will make maybe a play or two with his feet? You know, I think that's where it's going to come down. You're going to have to find a way to, and I think the game plan here would be to try and move this defense. They're very aggressive when you watch them play. They're linebackers. They really get after you, run into the football. And so, can you take advantage of them and their over-aggressiveness? Can you make the linebackers move? Can you get the defensive line to go one way and then you take the ball back the other? I mean, these are things that they're going to have to do. I'd feel so much better. I think we all would if you had a guy like Travis Frederick in the middle, that if you did play some counter game where all of a sudden you get him going one way and then you have your center to kind of cut things off and give you that lane. You know, that's kind of what they're missing right now. They're missing that ability to kind of take the ball one side and then bring it back. It's a really, really aggressive defense. They're going to do everything in their power to keep you from running the football because they know they can cover. That's their calling card right there. They get Jalen Ramsey. They'll move him around. Abuye, he's he's really, really, I think is a really good player.
He's a Pro Bowl guy too.
Yeah, and so they're gonna feel like that they can cover these guys. They feel like that they can match up with the Cowboys and have absolutely no problem. But this is going to come down to which quarterback can make those 1 or 2 extra plays and not make a mistake.
It looks like they've changed up things this week. It looks like they're going to practice outdoors.
Yes, you weren't here at the beginning of the show. Yeah. We were talking about that at the beginning.
Okay.
Yep.
Jason's wearing a white dry fit shirt.
And no pads yesterday either. They were in shells.
Yeah.
Which normally on Wednesday. So I don't know if he was trying to save a pad day.
Or just kind of right,
yeah. Or just
had a physical game though, man. As a Sunday night game, kind of physical. You know, you don't want to really come back and they practice hard. When they get pads, I mean, you get something out of watching a padded practice with these guys. But this game is not impossible. You know, we shouldn't act like it's impossible. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to have to be worried about, Joe DeCamilo's coming back. I think you're going to have to worry about a trick play from them. Joe D's famous for these national televised games.
Just to kind of say, I'm back, by the way.
Yeah. He's one of those guys where he can, he's got a headset on now. He walks around, I love Joe D, but you get ready for some type of trick play from Jacksonville. He does it every nationally televised type of game.
Is that right?
Yeah,
really?
Oh yeah. We used to when we would work in the league doing stuff, breaking down stuff before it was here. He's got his trick play reel is impressive that he's got. So just keep an eye on that. Is something that the Jaguars might throw at you this week.
And I think I saw a bullseye target out there on the practice field too, so they can work on their accuracy.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Golf cart
That's
with
good.
a target on it.
That's good.
It's gonna go.
Well, Garrett
It's like
and
being in the
Prescott
military.
work on their accuracy after practice every day.
That's right.
So
I like to know who wins those accuracy games.
Continue throwing to try to hit the crossbar too.
Exactly.
All right, Miles Jack versus Jaylon Smith. Even though they don't match up against each other, that's an interesting, very intriguing element to this game because of the draft when they both came out, and they were both early second-round draft picks coming off knee injuries.
Absolutely, and to be honest with you, Jaylon Smith's playing better than Miles Jack, and that's not to say that Miles Jack has been terrible, but the games that I saw, I get. He's one of my favorite players that I've ever scouted, Miles Jack, coming out of UCLA. Him and Zeke, I had them as two of my top players in that draft. And so, and I was very critical of Jaylon Smith. But if you said, okay, which one is playing better right now, I'll tell you Jaylon Smith, I think, is playing better. I think he's doing more for his defense. Even though that defense, if you put Jaylon Smith in this defense, I think he would be even better, the way he's playing. So, this is two really, really good, middle linebackers, both very active, both finishers. But if you had to say, I think that Jaylon's playing just a little bit better.
It reminds me of when the Cowboys made that pick of Jaylon Smith. And, of course, there was much criticism that how can you take a guy coming off that knee injury. And I remember, Mickey, you and I interviewed Jason Garrett right after that. And Jason was confident that because of what the doctors said, and the Cowboys' brain trust was confident.
Doctor did the surgery.
Yeah,
that helps.
The doctor that
Dr. Dan Cooper, by the way,
knew the player and knew the injury better than anybody could. That they felt like that, even though Jaylon Smith would take a longer time getting up to NFL speed, if he ever got to NFL speed, if he got all the way back, that the knee was in better shape long-term for an NFL career than what Miles Jack's was.
Yes.
And that was one of the reasons that they went that route. Because they could have taken Miles Jack in the second round.
Absolutely could have.
And Dr. Cooper told them that don't judge him until his third year.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first year was going to be a red shirt.
Right.
The second year, you're getting back playing football. But he said the third year will determine where his career goes. Because by then, you would hope the nerve is almost regenerated totally, like 100%.
The brace is off.
The brace is off. He's got the feeling back. And, again, playing football, right?
Yeah.
Because he hadn't played football all that time. And it was a severe injury. And no one could predict how quickly nerves regenerate, but his feeling was that by the third year, he'll be close. And here we are, the third year.
Other thing about their linebacking core, you said Miles Jack was one of the best, was one of your favorite guys.
Yeah, he was.
Telvin Smith was one of my favorites.
Telvin Smith makes
matter of
fact,
him. When I talked to him and saw him at the Senior Bowl that year, I was like, oh, I want this guy, but where do you play him? He's 215.
That's right.
And he was a kind of a safety at Florida.
Yeah, he played down. Right? Yeah, exactly.
They got him playing weak side linebacker at 215.
Yeah, but the way this league's going, though, you have those hybrid guys that can run and
cover,
play that safety
one
linebacker.
One of the best fifth-round picks you'll ever have.
Well, and one of the reasons he fell to the fifth round, there were off-the-field issues too.
Yeah, it's like Deedee Westbrook too. If you look about the wide receiver at Jacksonville, I was a really good football player. When you watch him on tape at Oklahoma, he falls to the fourth round because of the domestic violence stuff. So this shows you, though, these players can be really, really good. People have an area where they would like to take him, whether it's because he's not big enough or you have off-the-field problems. But you get those guys in your team, and all of a sudden things are going good. You steal players that way.
And I think with Telvin Smith, it was where he came from. There was a lot of drugs around the area that he grew up in and everything. And to his credit, he's been on the straight and narrow. And the thing that I loved about him, as much as he was so instinctive and fast as a linebacker for Florida State, but he reminded me personality-wise and leadership-wise of a Michael Irvin.
I mean, his confidence level was off the charts.
And that is what this Jacksonville team has. They've got such a brashness about him. That's right.
The corner is there. Right. He's the guy that gets them going. There's no doubt about that.
It is contagious to other players on the team. Barry Church gets there, and within a month he's talking about. Remember last year he's talking about that Jacksonville had more talent.
He was right.
What the Cowboys
he was absolutely
had.
Right.
That's right.
There's a couple of former Cowboys. You talk about Church, but Tyler Patman also plays as the nickel. So keep an eye on that little matchup. But whoever gets the hot hand, if any of these Cowboy receivers happen to get a little bit of a hot hand, get ready for Jalen Ramsey to come walking over there and take that. So you got to find ways to attack these guys. Maybe stay away from Ramsey as much as you can, but some of the other guys are going to have to step up and make some plays.
But so it's difficult for them pre-game to figure out who the Cowboys' go-to receiver is. So he probably would just start on the left side, and then as things transpire,
he's going to move. Yeah, he's going to move. You're going to find him on the right side, left side. You're going to find him in the slot too. They'll just move him around to try and take away your best guy.
Well, then who are they going to choose?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Which receiver?
Whoever your guy gets hot, they won't start. They won't start. If Beasley gets hot all of a sudden against Patman, then they'll kick that guy inside and play him on the side.
We've been waiting 5 games for one of them to get hot.
Well, that is a question that they have to ask. I mean, obviously there's teams that go into game plans feeling like, okay, who do you need to take away? Well, last year you took away Cole Beasley. Look what happened to him. Mm-hmm. They implode offensively when they don't have anybody to throw the football to.
I bet they move him to Tavon Austin, whatever Tavon Austin gets in, to kind of try to counter his speed, because they did that on Tyreek Hill, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like they matched him up every time, and he wasn't in man coverage every time either.
Yeah.
He backed off and played.
So I'm saying you got to take advantage when they get in zone. You just got to make that throw and make it quick, and try and get you 6-7 yards and then keep moving along.
And don't run a 13-yard curl route, okay?
Yeah.
And by the way, remind me tomorrow, I've got a comparison to make between this current Cowboys team and the Kansas City Chiefs offense. But we're out of time on this edition.
What a tease.
Oh, Bill.
Talking Cowboys. We will be back for a fabulous Football Friday edition where we'll dive deeper into these Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jason Garrett next.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?